What's going on YouTube, people? If you've been following along with us, you've probably seen that the last couple of weeks we was in Marathon, Florida. We was fishing. As you can see behind me, we got a bay boat that we fish out of, so it's nothing major, nothing big. A lot of people I see go down there to the Keys, they take a bay boat or a small offshore boat and hopes and dreams of catching a great big dolphin or a big grouper, and that is possible. We've done our fair share of it. We've caught some good dolphin down there through the years, been fishing down there the last 20 years off and on. Last 15 years we fished out of this boat, and we've had some good weather and got where we caught some good fish, but that don't always happen. Sometimes you go down there and the weather's bad, especially for a week. You might only get a couple days of fishing. So fishing Marathon, we've never fished it. We usually fish the lower Keys, so this is a first for us. So a little bit of learning curve, not too bad, but you kind of got an idea where fish is at and you can find them. But I found a few tips and a few little tricks that would pass on to everybody. You can't really find a whole lot of information when you go trying to fish a new spot because it's secret. Nobody wants to tell you where the fish is at. But there's a few things. If you want to go catch snapper's pretty much going to always be in the same spot. Snapper's a good bet if you got young kids or you got people that's maybe not experienced or don't do a lot of fishing and they want to get on a fish, want to catch something. Snapper fishing's fun. And you can go home and eat them. They eat really well. I'll take a snapper over about anything, but give you a few little tips, a few little tricks, and stay with me, and I might even give you a few spots to try if you're in the Marathon area. You'll see there's all kind of jigs, from little small ones like a 1/16 of an ounce to a little bit different style of jig. And this is a 1/8 of an ounce, all the way up to 1 ounce with a 6/0 hook. And we use pretty much all of these. These are, of course, for bigger fish, but bigger bait. Doesn't matter what brand. I had good luck with every one I've tried. I mean, there's whatever you find. I even tried some of these, and they actually work. We caught some fish on them without any bait. It's kind of neat and easy. Also, if you're using just standard hooks work good too. Sometimes you don't need a weight. Sometimes you can just get away with free lining it. Some fish seem to like that better. You might could even cast out behind them a little bit and feed off a little line. But if you need to get down and you got a regular hook, get you an assortment of split shot, whatever size. I think these are size 3. That's the ones I usually end up using. Sometimes I got some smaller ones, but those typically pretty good one to try. And colors, I don't think colors matter, but that's just me. For bait, of course, everybody wants live bait. Live shrimp's hard to get sometimes. When we were down there the first week, we were there the week before Memorial Day. We get all the live shrimp you wanted. The week after that, you couldn't find a live shrimp on the place. They were bought up in the first hour or 2 hours, whatever, when the bait shops got them. They seem to work good, but a ballyhoo sliced, take them, fillet it, and cut it up in little pieces. It works real good too. You can cut it up in steaks. It works good. Small bait, just try and hide the hook. Whatever kind of hook you're using, try and hide it. I don't have a regular hook right here with me now, but any size hook you got, just make sure you place the bait the same size as that hook. Try and hide the hook in those fish. If you sit and watch them any length of time, they go look at the bait and they can tell it's not normal, and a good fish just don't seem to hit it unless he's starving, and that don't happen down there when you're putting out a lot of chum. For chum, make sure you get a block on the bottom, halfway up, keep bringing it up as you go, and a good chum, a large size chum bag, got large holes in it. That's the key. You got to keep chum flowing. So as long as you got chum going and you're in a good spot, as far as a good spot, pretty easy to do. Go out and take your bottom finder. If you know what hard bottom looks like, go find some hard bottom, you'll find fish. Find something that's got a little abnormally to it, like it's a little dip, could be a rise, whatever it is in the bottom. Fish like stuff. I don't care where you fish at. Fish like a little bit of something different. So that being said, as far as the fishing poles, we caught them on everything from little 2500s all the way to, that's about a 6,000 on a 7-foot rod. Of course, there's a jig head. That's what I use most of the time when I'm fishing with this size rod and reel. It has a blue line on it. I use blue line, I use clear line. Doesn't seem to matter. The size of the line seems to matter. That one you just seen got 20-pound test on it. Didn't really have a problem with fish turning it down. I caught some good fish on that, and everybody in the boat caught some pretty good fish on it. The small ones, I run 12-pound test on them. 12-pound test is light, but the fish seem to hit it real well. And if you sit and watch them snapper, sometimes they look at it and they'll take the bait. Sometimes they don't. So I think 12-pound test pretty good line for catching smaller fish. We lost a few fish, but nothing major. We caught a lot of fish when we were there. So that's for mangrove snapper and for yellowtail. Now you got to remember, these fish are hit hard every day by somebody, whether it's commercial people or just us on vacation or the local people trying to catch a mess of fish to eat. So keep in mind, small line. I fished most of my life, and I always was guilty of using big line, too big a line sometimes. These fish, you need small line. Fluorocarbon works great too. I use it sometimes I don't. When we were down there, the water was clear and fish seemed to, they didn't mind. They eating everything we threw at them was just monofilament line. So that saves you a little bit of trouble, a little bit of hassle. The hook sizes, they're everything from a size 4 to a 2/0 we use. So that's up to you, personal preference. Depending on how the current's going, you make sure you got a good current. But if you got a current going and need a bigger sinker, put a bigger sinker on it. It'll work. And as far as spots, because that's a secret, nobody's gonna tell you any good spot to go fishing. But if you got kids, can't take them offshore, you want to take them, the weather's bad or whatever it may be, you can't go that far. You don't have to go far at all to catch a good mess of fish and catch some good fish. So if you're in the Marathon area and you go out on the ocean side, Atlantic, whichever one you're gonna call it, if you go out there anywhere from 35 to 60, 80 foot of water, you'll find fish pretty easy. You know, you can look for the boats. If you go out there around Sombrero Reef, when you get outside of where you can actually fish at, you'll see boats. They're there. It might take you a little bit of time. Just give it 20, 30 minutes, throw out some chums. You'll catch the fish. You might not catch no trophy fish, but you'll catch the mess of fish. Kids will be happy. Everybody have a good time. You get to eat some fish. On the bay side has a lot of mangrove snapper in it. And I don't see too many people fish on that side. The whole time I was there, I said, well, let's try it. I've had good luck on the lower keys fishing in the bay side, catching mangrove snapper, of course. So found a few spots. We're trying to find some pinfish to maybe grouper fish with. Didn't have good luck trying to set traps, so we went out and catch them on hook and line, and we found a place. I've never seen so many pinfish in my life. There's a wreck out there called Turtle Wreck. It's on the bay side of Marathon. It has got more pinfish than any place I've ever seen in my life. And we got them bad here in North Florida. Sometimes you can't even fish because they're so bad, but they bad there. But if you want some bait, that's a good spot to go catch bait. If you want to catch mangrove snapper and decent mangrove snapper, there's a place called Bamboo Banks. It's on every map. You can look it up. A whole lot of bars and sandbars, and there's some rock in there. You'll see rock. You look with your fish finder, you'll find some rock. So check out these spots of rocks in between the cuts. There's a couple sets of sandbars in there. If you go between the sandbars, you'll see it. It's 8, 10 foot of water. We done really well there. Put out some chum. Caught some nice mangrove snapper in there in a short amount of time, and went back several times, took some kids and some people that just don't fish a lot, and they had a great time in there. So if the weather's bad, too rough, you got kids, you don't want to go out there and try and chase the dolphin or go bottom fish for grouper, mangrove snapper's where it's at. Easy to catch, very good to eat. So just a little tip for you. And for chum, we found out while we were there, if you went on Aviation Boulevard, all the way down to the end of it kind of, there's a place called Smith Auto. He had the cheapest chum frozen bait that anybody in Marathon. So I'll give you that little tip too. Also, while you're at Bamboo Banks, if you're there fishing and you want some fresh ballyhoo, which I really, really like fishing with, that's my favorite bait. Towards the end of your fishing, you'll see all the ballyhoo show up. When you get done, get your cast net out or get a little itty bitty hook out, cork, and you can catch them on a rod and reel. Still fun to catch, but I prefer the cast net. But we caught quite a few of those with the cast net also. They also make some special circular net that's a ballyhoop or something, what it's called. Kind of expensive, but works real good from what I've seen. But cast net works great for me, so do what you got to do to get you some bait. But that fresh bait's where it's at. That's my favorite. The shrimp's good, but shrimp gets expensive. You start going through shrimp pretty quick. So ballyhoo, fillet them, cut them up in little pieces. Can't beat it. Everything eats it. we call grouper to dolphin on chunked up ballyhoo. So one of them baits through the years has always worked really well for me, but I do like the fresh ones if I can get them. So that's a good spot that you can find those. That's about all the tips and tricks I give you for today. Hope you enjoy it. If you like it, subscribe, stick with us. We like I say, we live here in North Florida. You'll see some fishing here. Maybe we didn't make many fishing videos when we were down there just because I was a captain and first mate and everything else. It's kind of hard to do videos and fish, especially when we had a lot of people on the boat. So if you like what you see, there's some funny stuff on there too. We missed some real good stuff, some people losing fishing poles in the water and all kind of good stuff like that. But if you check us out, like us, subscribe. And typically what we do side-by-side stuff. So you see parked over there, and in just a few more weeks we'll be headed to West Virginia. So if you want to see some side-by-side action, we got that coming too. Thank you. Y'all have a good afternoon.